So like in general, whenever you are working with data, whether primary or secondary data, it is essential to first process the data, which means that you have to take steps to refine raw data into a useful format for analysis, right? And it involves your like cleaning, transforming, filtering, and organizing the data set. And since we're using secondary data for our study, it already comes kind of pre-processed. So we mainly need to learn how to filter and combine them, right? So in our case, our data is from GBD, World Bank, UN, etc. Like HDI and GIA, we is from UN. So these different sources often use different conventions, as you must have seen. Right, so it is very important to learn how to combine all these data sets into a single file for the analysis. Alright, and obviously, like you must have done it, the most straightforward way is to do it manually and combine data sets in Excel. But once you start working with real data sets from like various sources, you may have also realized that this could be very complicated in many situations. It's not as easy, right? So, like just as an example, it's possible that your mental health data is ordered in ascending order with respect to the year, and whereas the data for some other variable may be ordered in descending order. In this case, you cannot simply copy a column from one table and paste it next to the other. In general, it could become very complicated to like manually align and combine these two data sets. So it would be very helpful if we could automate this process, especially for like complex data sets. So the first one is inner join. So for illustration, let us consider two data sets A and B. The first consists of the income information for some users, while the second has the rent information. And we want to combine these two in a single data set. Alright, so as you can see, there are some common IDs in both the data sets, that is 3 and 4. Alright, now this type of join only keeps the matching pieces. It merges the two data sets, but only where the common column has matching values in both. If there is no match, the row gets left out. In this example, as we are joining based on ID, what we get is a new data set that gives us rows for IDs which are common in both. That is again 3 and 4. You can also understand it in terms of a Venn diagram, like where we get intersection of the two data sets, as you can see. Does it make sense to you? Yeah, right. So it just has the intersection of both the data sets.
Okay.
All right. And the next type of join is left join. So what this does is it keeps everything from the first data set and adds matching values from the second data set. And if there is no match, the entire left side data still remains, but the right side column will show as missing. In our example, as you can see in table B, there is no ID as 1 and 2. Right. So when we use join left join, the rent data for those IDs is NA, and the entire data from table A is kept along with the matching data from table B. You can see this from the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Do you have any questions for this one?
No, I got it.
Okay. The next one is your right join, which is opposite to the left join that we just learned. So here it keeps everything from the second data set and only the matching values from the first data set. And this you can see it from the example, right?
Yeah.
And the Venn diagram. This one is full join, and it'll what, as the name suggests, it will just combine everything from both the data sets. So did you use like any of this approach in your joining?
No.
But I'll show you how to use them in R. But I think these are some of the important ones that you should know, and it'll help you a lot in your when you are trying to process any kind of data before I show you how to use them in R, I would like you to download the data for GI. Now, what I'll do is I'll teach you how to merge this in R, and R uses merge function to join the data sets. So now, can you please open R Studio? Have you ever used R before?
I used it for my classes, but it was not like that complex.
Okay, it's fine. We'll learn it. We'll learn some of the functions here, and it will be helpful for you in other projects, I think. So the R interface has 4 sections, as you can see. The source window on the top left, the environment on the top right, your console or your terminal on bottom left, and the files or your viewer window on the bottom right. So go on files. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see you have both of them in your source window, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you can also see it in your environment, and you can see the number of observations and number of variables. So you can see that you have 641 observations of 47 variables, because you have data from 20 countries for 32 years. And I think in GII, because we have taken all the countries and all the years, so there are much more, but there's number of observations is much more. Okay. And so now we want to merge these data sets. All right. So think of it and tell me, like, out of the 4 joins that we just learned, which one should we use to merge these 2 data sets? And remember that we don't need all the countries and all the years from GII, and we want to merge it according to the mental health data that we have.
Left join?
That's right, actually. So because this will create a new data set which has all our mental health data and the corresponding data from your GII. Okay.
Yeah.
And what will happen if we use inner join?
Inner join?
Yeah, if we use inner join in this situation, what will happen?
It will still take all G20 countries, right?
Sorry?
It would still take all the G20 countries?
Yeah.
But the years are different. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So like if we use inner join, then we will lose the data for the years for which GII data is absent. Like for for China for the years before 1998. All right. So that is why we have to merge. We have to use the left join in this situation.
Okay.
And if we use full join, it will create a data set with all the countries and all the years. We don't want that. All right. So if you toggle back to PPT, join it based on country and year. So your join data is basically you are creating a new data frame, and the data frames that you have is your A and B here. So in this case, you have your G20 mental health data. So instead of A, you just type G20 and it will show you your mental your data. This one, just select this, and this data. And for based on 2 columns, you have to write C before in the bracket you'll have your country and year.
These ones. Should I switch the order or something?
No. For G20 mental health data, that's the file I sent you, right?
Yeah, and then the stuff I added.
So so open the joined data file. So if you see, if you like now explore this new data frame, you will notice that the data for countries United States and Turkey is missing.
Yeah.
Right. So this is because I think I had previously mentioned that they don't share a common name in the 2 data sets. Right. And this is why we have the ISO 2C and ISO 3C in order to have a standardized format.
Okay.
So now so actually what you have to do is you have to merge this according to the ISO 3C, because both of them have ISO 3C. Alright? And your problem for having different names for different countries will not be a problem here. So what you do is in your code where you wrote country, just make it ISO 3C. Now if you see, did you do it?
Yeah.
Now if you see, you'll have the data for US and Turkey as well,
Yeah. USA.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you join data sets, and you should have your standard form in which you use the country names, and so this will give you a merged data set.
It's joining as like a whole different thing.
Yeah, so why is this happening? Because I think you may have added a wide form data set to the mental health data set. So according to ours, this will be the empty columns were also your variables. So that's why it because it uses long form data. That's why I asked you to use the file that I had sent you for the mental health data.
Mm-hmm.
If you use that one again, it will give you the form you want. It just has your mental health data, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the form we want with all the codes and all, right? For the years that we want. Just always make sure you check your data, that everything's there, and if you use it frequently, it'll become very easy for you. It's just that you're doing it for the first time, so it's taking some time. Otherwise, it'll be. See, now you get everything, right?
It's adding another column.
Yeah, because in your Excel file it has this column.
Okay.
Right. So for the GII file.
But the GII file doesn't have values from 1990. So how did it get the GII file?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have values from 1990 onwards. It had it from like 2008.
No, I think that was for Afghanistan. This is for Argentina. So Afghanistan, we didn't have values. Yeah. And see, for China, you see it will show you NA. If you had used inner join, we would have had we would have had problems here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what you can do is, if you want to search for some data, you can use WDI search and use this. Okay, don't copy it, just type it again. Maybe because it's using the curly brackets. No, the curly. Yeah. So it will give you, what this one does is, it will give you the information about what you have searched, right? It will give you the indicator code and its name.
We'll take Gini coefficient.
Yeah.
Indicators.
Wait, just scroll down. I think we are using the last one. I think it gave you what you wanted, right? So in this way, you can customize the WDI function to include multiple indicators. You can rename the labels. You can select the data for specific countries and for specific durations. Okay, I'll also share some code files, and again I'll mention that, and you can refer to that for more details. Okay, and like once you have merged the data frame in R, you can save them as CSV file. Okay. Right. So today we learned how to combine the data sets in R, and can you now use these things to have like a full data set?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So next time we learn more about the assumptions for panel data analysis, and we'll discuss them in our next meeting.
And should I submit it by tonight?
No. You can. Oh, the data frame thing?
Yeah.
You can submit it tomorrow as well. That's fine.
Okay.
But did you understand what we did today?
Yeah.
Did it make sense to join it and use R for all of this?
Yeah.
I think it's much easier than doing it manually, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
for the HDI indicator, I have to download it on my desktop first, right? I can't do the search thing.
No, for that I don't think R has any inbuilt package for that. For that you'll have to download it. Okay. But I think it's pretty simple, right? If you have other, you just need HDI and GII from there, and you always merge it into the way you want it. Right?
Yeah.
Any other questions you have or
No.
any concerns? Did it wake you up?
Yeah.